I'm Keith. I'm the lead guitar player in Ketos.
I'm Pete, the vocalist from Ketos and also Conquest, I could say.
I suppose probably the first album I would have listened to was Ascendancy by Trivium, and first time I heard stuff like that, it just blew my mind. Like listening to Corey shredding like fuck, it's just like holy shit, this is amazing. And from there on, couldn't listen to anything that wasn't heavy as all hell.
For me, fuck, it's been like a lifelong thing. My mom is a singer as well, and was in like the band for the studio and production company of all the like Irish country music guys, like Hugh Ruck, Daniel O'Donnell, Philomena Begley, all the likes of that. So I basically spent my childhood in a recording studio in some way or another, working with people, just getting dead interested in it, taking up guitar, being really interested in performing, and just always playing music. Well, it feels like far more passionate. It's like, the way I would describe it, when you're doing metal, it feels more like you're participating in a sport, like stepping into a fucking octagon, ready to fucking take everybody on. It's far more like physical and active. And I know after I do a set anyway, I'm like sweating, everything's sore. It feels like you really go for it. And then I've also done other gigs, like from when I was younger, pop punk gigs, or like playing session guitar in wedding bands, and you're kind of just standing there bored half the time. And metal just feels far more intense.
I would agree with that, definitely. It feels like metal is all about people who like metal, fully love the music, whereas maybe other styles of music, it's not so much about the music, it's more about party or whatever. But for me, it's 100% about the music and commitment to the instrument. Well, for me, like, I always played, I played violin and stuff like that in school, and I just never enjoyed it. I was only doing it because mum and dad wanted me to do it, and I was like, well, okay, I was pretty good at it, but then I was like, I always wanted to play guitar, so I was like, right, I'm going to play guitar, and I never really listened to anything guitar-based that wasn't heavy, and bands that definitely influenced me big time would be Children of Bodom. Like, I remember hearing them for the first time and just being like, fucking hell, like, I need to learn this, and just learned as much of their stuff as possible. And other people growing up, just inspirational guitarists in particular, like Andy James and the likes of that there. Those guys just make you want to be better at what you do.
For me, I think I was like in my mid-teens, or 13, 14, early teens. All my life I'd been like getting guitar lessons, learning music, but never really saw it as something that I would do, because I was always, doing what I was told, learning this or that or the other. One time when I was like 14 or something, hanging out with a bunch of like skaters, they all started riffing all these like Deftones and Limp Bizkit and Papa Roach songs. I was like, hold on a fucking minute, give me a guitar. I was able to do it too. I was like, how come nobody's been trying to teach me this? Quit lessons, quit everything, told them all to go and fuck. Just started learning shit myself, getting into metal, punk, and having a million times more fun. But it was easy as well because of like taking all the lessons and learning theory and learning classical. That probably made it easier to just pick it up and hit the ground running and go. But yeah, it was from a fairly young age I realized that was the way to go.
Well, whenever writing riffs and stuff, I mean, because I just sit and watch TV and play guitar, so whatever, and just like basically always have a guitar in my hands. So whether sometimes you come up with something that sounds good and you think that sounds awesome, and then you start thinking of drum beats and it just sort of comes together, or other ways it happens is you hear a drum beat and that inspires things. It can come from anywhere. It can be from a lead line or a lick or anything, just practice licks, anything at all, and then you take it from there, start open up Reaper and start fucking recording some ideas and see what happens.
Well, for me, it's like, for doing vocals for a song, I always find that it's better if you do something meaningful, not just ramble on about like how you feel about something, or like somebody who's broke up with their girlfriend or some shit like that. Like, I know for doing the Conquest songs, what we do is like pick a target and attack it and make the vocals as aggressive as possible, talk about shit like civil rights or wars or whatever, and then we found we were a lot more passionate in delivering the message, and it was a far more aggressive performance. For Ketos, it's trying to be a little more subtle and trying to go back to sort of more poetic meanings in songs and things like that. Not necessarily be targeting people and trying to start some shit, but just trying to be, I don't know, metaphorical
things.
Yeah, try and give things that people can put a lot of meaning to. Because whenever I'm writing music, it's all mainly vocals and lyrics, and it comes after what Keith would do. And then it's just sing the song, just freestyle some stuff, see what comes out, finesse it, lay it down. Well, it's fucking awesome. It's like, this is the most fun you can ever have. You talking about why be in it despite how much it costs and everything else. I mean, yeah, it costs a lot of money. Like, my microphone was something like £390. The headset was like £100. Every time I play a gig in Dublin, you're paying for a hotel. I'm sure your fucking guitars and heads and all cost a lot of money. And a lot of the time, you don't get much back. You just get what you sell from your merch. But it's not about making money because, fuck, it would be a sad state of affairs if it was. It's really just all about being the best you can be, having fun, and having a party with everybody, because it's all about. And if you work hard enough at it and do your best, you can actually get payoffs there. You get a lot of good write-ups online. You get offered to support cool bands when they come into town. Everybody wants to buy you a drink. It's all really good fun.
Yeah, I think it's just getting your own stuff out there. It's just something to be proud of, I suppose, at the end of the day as well. It's like whenever you can go and be like, yeah, we recorded like something that you can look back at maybe 20 years time and be like, that was
forever.
fucking awesome, what's the thing that we did. So just like any hobby really, you just gotta do what you love.
Well, it depends, because it all depends on who's there and how it goes. But really, if you're talking about stage-wise and production-wise, you can't fault the Limelight or the Students' Union. Also, Voodoo's really fun as well.
Yeah, everywhere really.
Everywhere. I mean,
Limelight, Voodoo would be the most common places. They're both great places to play. Like so.
My favorite is just when everything sounds great,
Yeah.
and everyone's loving it, and everything's going according to plan. It can be literally anywhere.
Yeah, like McHugh's, like a tiny, but
Yeah,
it was
we
like an awesome night.
played McHugh's in the basement, and it was like a very small setup, just on the floor. But a whole bunch of people came, rocked out, and had a great time.
Yeah. Just the satisfaction, I suppose, of people saying or online maybe, or just saying like they enjoy the music. I think it's just hearing that people like it, or getting a good cheer after a song, whatever it happens to be. It's just knowing that people are enjoying it, I suppose, is the best thing about it.
Yeah, like when you play a really fucking awesome gig and you come off and everyone's coming up telling you they loved it. A few people come up, ask you to play at their fucking show. Everyone's raving about it online. It's brilliant just to see people enjoying it. And when it all goes according to plan, all goes well, there's no mistakes or anything, and it just feels fucking great.
Getting practices.
Yeah, I mean,
getting everyone at the same time to fucking do things together is such a nightmare.
Because like it is essentially a part-time venture and everyone else has their own jobs and shit. We aren't putting in the full-time work that really it demands, because we should be practicing millions of times a week, gigging all the time. But it's hard to pin everyone down. Other challenges would be traveling around. I mean, playing in Dublin or Cork, you're spending the majority of your day in a fucking bus driving. I personally don't think the scene is that splintered. Like, always since I've been in it, I was happy to get along with all the punks, happy to get along with all the metalers, happy to get along with all the grungers, everybody. I think it's what you make of it yourself. Like, I would come to James's distortion gigs in Limelight, go to the War Zone to see the likes of fucking Tars and Darzo and Johnny's band. I'd go to Voodoo to see what Johnny McKee's putting on, and I have a great time at all of them, get on with everybody. It's always really good fucking camaraderie shit. Everyone's partying and getting along. I think if you have trouble going to any of these things, the problem might be more with yourself and what you're making of it. But really, every scene I've gone to has been welcoming as fuck, and everyone's been great. I think it's great. I mean, you know, when you're making a special event of music and you're putting something on that makes it a little more unique than what's going on usually, you might get more people coming to it because of that. Whenever you see bands win it and going to play Bloodstock, I mean, we're all rooting for the home team. It's great to see guys going out and doing it. I can see why some people don't like it, because if it's judges, it is all down to the personal preference of the judge. The judge might like a certain genre more or whatever, and I'm sure people have their problems with it, just like any competition. But I mean, any more attention that's focused here can be a good thing. And if you've got a problem with it, you should be working more to fucking do something about it instead of just sitting bitching. Why not enter and try your fucking best and get through?
Yeah, we didn't have a chance to get into it last year because we just sort of formed then and probably didn't really feel like we were ready for it. Whereas now this year we have entered it, so like we should hopefully be seeing how we get on this year.
It's always good fun. Oh yeah, there's loads. Too many to sit in the list here, but if I went by who I seen last, Tars are ridiculously good. I mean, they practice like 2-3 times a week, and it shows. A bunch of young guys hungry for it. One of the newer generations coming in. There's a whole load of other amazing bands out there called Arms, Don and Die. There's fucking Dream Awake that went and got to play at Download, and everyone just seems to only be getting better and better, and everyone's inspiring each other to get better, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah, for sure. Like most of the bands we play with, I mean, everyone does a great job. Like you can tell, everyone really fucking loves the music, and yeah, too many to list. Like I suppose, I think Dream Awake seem to be doing really well at the minute. Like they seem to have like that sort of nice blend that seems to be really popular at the minute. Where maybe like the heavier stuff is maybe a bit harder to get out there into like the mainstream, but yeah.
I think it's really important. The fact that you have people come out and reviewing local gigs, taking loads of pictures, taking videos, I think it's fantastic, because somebody needs to be doing it, and it's great to have everything documented. I mean, yes, there is that, not sort of hobbyist. I see it more as like being part-time, because everyone has to do something to pay the fucking rent and put food on the table, and unfortunately the scene over here locally doesn't pay enough people to do it as their full-time occupation, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So, I mean, the fact that you have people doing it just for the love of it shows how much passion and creativity there is there. Bursting to get out, doesn't matter if there's a big paycheck coming or not, you're going to have people there taking the pictures, writing the reviews, attending the gigs. Just, if it's for the love of it, then fucking right. I mean, you'd rather be doing it for the love of it than only doing it for a paycheck, because then it would just be like your day job. You'd just be there because you had to be, filming in a performance.
Yeah. No, I definitely think it's important as well, because it's great whenever you show up and you see somebody there with a point in the camera, you know, you're gonna get something at the end of it. You can go, oh sweet, there might be videos at the end of it, so
Yeah, it kind of immortalizes it as well, because it's going to be there forever. Something to show your fucking grandkids, you know? Like, the more recording of everything, the better, because
yeah. So you know, a review's coming or something, you know, you have to fucking be on your A game, like, so.
I guess where there's like the most people there,
Yeah.
and everyone's giving it the most physically.
Support slot, maybe?
Well, yeah, well, for Conquest or Consent, we've got a lot of really good support slots, thanks to like Shine and Johnny McKee and those guys. Did a lot of good ones, Heart of a Card, Chelsea Grin, but the best one was probably Anthrax, and this sold out Limelight 1, and it was just fantastic. For loading in, we could just stand there and watch Anthrax play for like 3 hours, rehearsing and sound checking to just literally the 5 of us in the Limelight. That was pretty cool, and then getting up there in front of the sold out crowd was brilliant as well. Couldn't really ask for more than that. It makes all the hard work you've been talking about, like the heavy investments, all the time and effort you put in, it makes it all pay off when you get up and get to do cool shit like that.
I think I recently dropped out of it to give more time to Ketos, but I played for an Iron Maiden tribute band, and we played all over Ireland, all over the place, massive crowds, all huge venues and all, and it was mad seeing like that. We're not playing our own music, so it's not quite the same, but whenever you see like a huge group of people really get into it, like that's like electric. The atmosphere is amazing. So I mean, that's what we aspire to, I suppose. Have people singing our own songs one day.
It's all about having fun and trying to be the best you can be, putting in your best effort and having everyone enjoy themselves.